Hi there, I'm Mistel Godlewski, an American girl who called the cornfields of Illinois home until over 10 years ago when I started navigating the chaos of life overseas. If you've ever felt that itch for something more, that whisper telling you to break free from the ordinary, you're in the right place. This podcast is your backstage pass to the wild ride of moving abroad. I'm here to pull back the curtain on the real journey, sharing stories that are funny, dramatic, and sometimes downright unbelievable. We'll explore the gritty details, from battling culture shock and navigating tricky visa processes to celebrating those small victories that make it all worth it. So whether you're daydreaming about a new life abroad or already in the thick of it, grab your passport and let's explore what it really means to live life beyond borders. Welcome to A Broadly Speaking. Hi there, friend. Welcome to the Broadly Speaking podcast. My name is Mistel. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, as always, welcome back. Today, we are going to talk about one of the least sexy, the least talked about, but one of the most powerful visas out there, which is the job seeker visa. Nobody seems to be talking about it. It's not pretty Instagrammable and friendly, right? It's not shiny like a digital nomad life visa or even the, hey, I dropped 50 grand for a Tuscany villa type visa. But if you actually want to get out of the United States legally, sustainably, and with a path to long-term residency, this visa could be a game changer for you. So I want to make sure you're aware of it. So pour yourself a coffee, or let's be honest, a glass of wine, and let's get into it. Okay. Here's the thing about the job seeker visa. There's this ridiculous way of content online that everybody, and if you follow me, you know I am not about the pretty aesthetic stuff, but like watching people's Instagram feeds, you see all the time these beautiful beach, like working with my laptop on the beach. First of all, that's not even fun, but I'm in Bali and look at what I'm doing, or I'm in Portugal and I get to work from this beautiful villa. Digital nomad visas are like all the rage right now. They're cute and they definitely make for an awesome TikTok or Instagram caption. I'm working from the beach in Portugal, hashtag laptop lifestyle, right? You see that all the time, or hashtag digital nomad life. But here's the reality. Most people don't actually qualify for a digital nomad visa. The income requirements can be super high. We're talking $3,000 to $7,000 a month after taxes in some cases. That immediately disqualifies most Americans who are stuck in jobs that pay between $40,000 and $60,000 a year. So people end up going down the rabbit hole of visas, Googling visas to move abroad, and wind up frustrated because every influencer is like, start drop shipping business or learn to code because that's super easy for everybody. Or my personal favorite, just marry somebody. Like you aren't either A, already married, or B, like you don't want to marry for love, right? So cool, thanks for nothing. Meanwhile, quietly sitting in the corner like an introvert at a party is this little gem, the job searcher visa. It doesn't get the hype because it's not glamorous, it's not immediate, and it doesn't make for good Instagram reels. But you know what it does do? It buys you time to actually live in the country you want to move to legally while you look for work. That is huge because you know what's actually hard? Getting hired for a job in another country when you're still in the US, right? A lot of you right now are probably looking and going, I've been applying for jobs for 6 months or 12 months or whatever it is, right? Employers see your US address, your visa status, and honestly, 9 times out of 10, your resume may go straight into the trash. But if you're already there, if you're already on the ground, if you're legally allowed to stay and look for work, that could be a whole different story for you. That's why this visa matters. And it's why I want to scream about it right now from the rooftops or from, Apple or Spotify, right? In the podcast world. So let's strip back to the basics so you know what it is, what it's not, and we can talk about it from there. A job seeker visa is a temporary residence permit offered by certain countries that allow you to live there for a set period of time. That's usually 6 to 12 months for the explicit purpose of looking for a job. You're not working yet. You're not freelancing on the side. You're not pretending to be a tourist overstaying your 90-day welcome. You're legally in the country with the government's permission saying, hey, look, I really want to build a life here. Give me a shot to find work. And if you land a job during that time, your transition to the work permit or residency, boom, super fast and easy. You've built your bridge. No shady loopholes, no overstaying, no quote, well, technically I'm on a student visa, but excuses. Just legal, straightforward, and practical. So maybe you're thinking, okay, Mistel, that sounds great. Who offers job seeker visas? The truth is, not every country offers it, but several do. And they're places that people actually kind of want to move to. Here are some of the big players for you. Germany. This is probably the most famous version. And if you Google it, you'll see a bunch of people who've done it. You usually get up to 6 months to live in Germany and look for a job. If you land one, you convert into a work permit or an EU blue card. We'll do a whole episode about the difference between work permit and EU blue card because I think that's an important one as well. But I think this is really a good option for you in the job seeker visa portion because it's 6 months, right? So you get to stay for 6 months. In Austria, they offer a red, white, red card job seeker visa, which is points based. It's super appealing if you're in STEM, healthcare, or in any skilled trades. I had a red, white, red job seeker visa when we first moved because I was not technically employed when we first moved. So I was able to move. It's family reunification as well, but I had a red, white, red visa when I moved. The only difference, and I'll go very high level for 1 second, between a blue card for an EU and a red, white, red card example is in Austria, is the red, white, red we had to renew every year. The blue one, my husband renewed every 2 years. So it's not that complicated. Portugal also has a job seeker visa. And while everyone's chasing the digital nomad visa there, this is often a better route for people who don't meet the income requirements. Sweden offers something similar for highly qualified workers, though the requirements are a bit stricter. And UAE, for example, like Dubai, even has a job seeker visa option. It's not Europe, but still worth mentioning, right? So if you're not looking for Europe, there are countries outside of the European Union, outside of Europe, that do offer that as well. These visas exist because these countries need skilled workers or need workers. Their population may be aging, their industries are growing, or they literally cannot fill jobs that they have with just locals. And yet, Americans barely know these exist because the digital nomad marketing machine is much louder. So I want to throw that out there for you. Here's the harsh truth. Most international job applications are sent from the US end up in the bin. Why? Well, there's two reasons. One, because your cover letter and curriculum vitae suck, honestly. And the second reason is because employers don't want the hassle. They don't know if if you can legally work. They don't know if you'll actually show up, and they don't want to deal with the bureaucracy of sponsoring someone sight unseen. But if you're already in the country with a job seeker visa, that can change literally everything. You have a local address, you're already legally there and allowed to stay. You can go in interviews in person so they get to meet you first. You are signaling commitment to actually make the move. You can go from the random American on the internet to a serious candidate already here in like milliseconds, right? And that's a massive credibility shift when you're talking about living and working abroad. Okay, let's be real. These visas aren't free, they aren't always easy, and they really aren't for everyone because there's always a catch. Here are some of the main catches that you want to consider. Number one, you usually need a degree or some sort of specialized skill. Germany, for example, wants to see a recognized degree or professional experience. Austria uses a point system. Things like education, age, work experience, and language skills all end up mattering. Number two, you need proof of funds. This is not for broke backpackers. You'll need to show bank statements proving you can support yourself while you look. That is usually between 5,000 and 7,000 euros in savings, depending on the country. So roughly about 10,000 US dollars to show that you can survive there for a period of time during which that working visa is in place, or that job search visa, is in place. Number three is that this is a place where you cannot work during this period. This is not a side hustle visa. You're not allowed to freelance, pick up under the table work, or get paid legally until you transition to a work permit. Okay. So you're going to have to live on savings for a period of time while you search for work. And number 4 is that the clock is ticking. You usually get about 6 months. If you don't land a job by then, you're out. So you're going to have to hustle hard. So yeah, honestly, it's not all sunshine and schnitzel, but for the right person, it may be the most straightforward path you're going to find. This is where this gets interesting. You're probably thinking, okay, is this for me? Job seeker visas honestly aren't for everyone, but they are a dream for a lot of people. If you're a young professional with a degree in demand, like an engineer, an IT specialist, healthcare workers, many teachers, you're golden. That's a great way to start. If you're a mid-career professional stuck in the US grind, like you have a bunch of experience, you have good references and some savings, this could be an opening for you. If you're in a world where there's no option to remote work, not everyone can go freelance or work from anywhere. So if your career depends on in-person work, this might be a way in for you. And if you're a family willing to take a chance and a leap, I get it. It's harder with kids, but if one parent qualifies and lands a job, the whole family can get residency there. So it may be worth the opportunity to do that as well. The people who struggle the most are, of course, the folks without savings, if you don't have a degree or specialized skills, or those who think they can just wing it. This particular visa rewards preparation, it rewards hard work. So there's some consideration there. And again, what you're going to have to do is hustle hard when you get there because you're going to have 6 months to land a job. Here's where things are going to get spicy because this is the stuff you won't find on the government websites. You are probably going to get rejected for some jobs because you don't speak the local language. That's unfortunately reality. But there are also jobs in international companies where English could be enough. As I was mentioning before, when I'm talking about hustling, networking matters more than the application. Don't just sit on LinkedIn and keep hitting apply. Get out, go to meetups, shake hands, buy someone a coffee. You're going to need to be present in the industry. You're going to be needing to be present in the country in order to do it. One of the great things about this job searcher visa is if there's group meetups, for example, in Basel, Switzerland, near where we used to live, there's a monthly meetup for professionals in the pharmaceutical industry. There's a lot of pharma jobs in Basel. There's a lot of pharma jobs in Switzerland in general. And so people, and as if you guys have listened to the podcast before, you know that I work in pharma. So if I were wanting to move abroad and get a job searcher visa, for example, in Germany, and I were living in the southern region where Switzerland is close by, where Basel is within driving distance, either in France or in Germany, I could drive over the border or come over the border, go to those networking events, start meeting people, start getting my name out there, start getting my face out there with people, tell them what I do, tell them what my specialties are. And then eventually, when a job opens up, I'm going to be thought of, right? So I understand for some of you, networking is like the bane of your existence. You absolutely hate it. I get it. I am an introvert. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I am 100% an introvert. And God help me when I have to be in front of 55 people that I don't know. It scares the shit out of me, honestly. And also, if I really wanted to get out and I really wanted a job, this is one way that you could do it. It does feel terrifying. Packing up your life and moving with no job lined up, hoping you can land something before your visa runs out or the money runs out, that's scary. But it also forces you to take it seriously. This visa, too, is cheaper than you think, right? Everyone assumes moving abroad requires something like $50,000, which I don't know where they pulled that bullshit number from, but it's bullshit. With a job seeker visa, you often just need enough savings to live modestly for 6 months. You're going to live in a short-term rental. You're not going to rent long-term right away. You're going to live in a short-term rental. You're likely not moving your stuff. So all you're paying for is the visa. You're paying for the plane tickets over there, and you're paying for your 6 months of living there, right? That's how much money that you need to survive. You are also going to grow like crazy. Even if you don't land your dream job, the skills you gain navigating interviews, bureaucracy, and networking abroad are priceless. You have the option to get a 6 month, for example, you get a 6 month job seeker visa in Germany. If you don't find a job, you could theoretically look for a 6 month job seeker visa in Austria as well. So there's opportunities there for you. Okay, let's say you're listening and thinking, wait a second, this might actually work for me. Here's where to start. I want you to pick one country. Of the ones, you don't need to worry, search 27 at once. Narrow it down. I would say pick one, but okay, if you have to, if you're someone like that needs options, narrow it down to 2 to 3 that fit your skills, your lifestyle, and your visa eligibility requirements. Take a look at the requirements specifically. Seriously, go straight to the government website. Right? What degrees do they recognize? How much money do you need to have in the bank? If you don't have that much yet, start savings. So if you need $6,000 in the bank, make that your immediate goal, whatever that means for you. Whether you're going to stop buying $8 oat milk lattes, or your Target runs are going to be cut back so you actually only buy toothpaste, save that up and put it towards your Freedom Fund. You need to, we mentioned this before, you need to update your CV and cover letter for that market. Hint, the European CVs are not US resumes. Please, for the love of God, look that up. And if you need a cover letter template, I have a couple of different options for you. Number one, I have a free cover letter template that you can download. It has blanks that you fill in that will help you with addressing the situation. I also have a GPT that I created, a custom GPT called the Cover Letter Coach. It walks you through exactly what to put in your cover letter when you're applying for a job. It addresses the fact that you don't have a visa, or for example, that you are on a job seeker visa. You could put that in there. You drop the job, that description of what you're applying for. You can drop your resume in there, and then you can kind of give it some information that it'll ask you for. And boom, it spits out a cover letter for you that is directly already written, saves you tons of time, no more blinking cursor on the screen for you. You actually know exactly what to do. So if you want that, the link for that is in the show notes. I also have the free cover letter template that you can download as well. The cover letter coach GPT is $7, so it's not super expensive. You get it for life. Once you download it, you get it whenever you want it. So it's $7 for now. If you're listening to this in real time, the price may change over the next couple of months. We'll see how it goes. Or if you join our career and professional life mini course module, that's included for free. So I'll drop those 3 links for you in the show notes for this particular visa and for this particular episode. But let me know if you have any questions about searching for a job. I'm happy to help. Once you arrive, of course, you're going to want to join LinkedIn groups, or you're going to want to look for local meetups. Start reaching out to people like we talked about before. All of this is covered in the career and professional life module, but you want to do this before you even apply. The more groundwork you lay, the faster you'll land a job once you're there, the more confident you'll be. So I'll be honest, for a lot of people, this might be better than a digital nomad visa. I'm going to be blunt about it, because digital nomad visas are a shiny distraction for most Americans. They require higher income, they don't always lead to long-term residency, and they often limit what kind of work you can do. The job seeker visas, on the other hand, allow you to transition to real jobs. They can transition to permanent residency, and they're built for people who actually want to live in the country, not just vacation there with a laptop. It is not sexy at all, but it is stable. And in a world where stability right now feels completely impossible, that may be worth more than 1,000,000 Instagram reels for you. So here's my spicy take. If you're serious about moving abroad and you're sick of waiting for the stars to align, the job seeker visa might be a good shot for you. It's not the easiest path. It's definitely not the sexiest path, but it is a path that actually works for regular people. Not influencers, not trust fund kids, not digital nomads sipping overpriced cappuccinos in Lisbon. It's for you. The parent who wants a better future for your kid, the burned out professional who knows there has to be more than continuing to work 24/7, or the person in the Target parking lot thinking, God, get me out of here. The job seeker visa is often overlooked, but it's real, it's possible, and it might be your ticket out. All right, my friend, that's it for today's episode. If this got your wheels turning, if you're thinking this could actually work for me, shoot a DM on Instagram to me. I'd love to hear what country you're considering. And if you want the step-by-step help planning everything from your landing a job abroad, check out the show notes. You can DM me too, but check out the show notes. I dropped the link for the free cover letter template, the $7 cover letter coach GPT, as well as the career and professional life mini course that I have, because I want you to be able to stop doom scrolling, stop living on LinkedIn, and actually find a job abroad. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need permission. You just need to start. All right, that's it, my friend. This was Broadly Speaking. I'm Miss Dell, and I will see you next week on our next episode. Thanks for tuning in to Broadly Speaking. If today's episode got you dreaming a little bigger or thinking a little braver, go ahead and hit subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who's ready for their own adventure. And hey, don't be a stranger. Come hang out with me over on Instagram at I am Miss Dell for the real, unfiltered life abroad. Keep that passport handy, and remember, life's too short to stay in one place.